Hey outdoor explorers, welcome back. Well, can you guess what today we're gonna talk about? You guessed it, feathers. I personally love feathers. I love the beauty, the all different shapes and colors, and they're not just as simple as you think, they are complex. These feathers are amazing. They keep the ultraviolet rays off the birds' bodies. They keep them warm in the wintertime on cold nights and cool in the summertime. Some birds fly their feathers up in this beautiful array to attract a mate. They also help conceal or hide nesting birds and birds that have eggs. So it helps them incubate the eggs, it keeps them warm. And the coolest thing is they give birds the freedom of flight. I love that. Sometimes I wish I was a bird. I also just want to mention the Native Americans and perhaps other cultures use feathers as in religious ceremonies. They are very sacred to Native Americans, which that holds dear to my heart. There are some rules and regulations about owning feathers, especially birds of prey, because there was a lot of poaching and a lot of birds either went extinct or went on the endangered species list due to hunting. So now there are regulations, and you are not allowed to own or have a bird of prey feather unless you are Native American, if you're using it in ceremonies and other things. So just keep that in mind. Now it's probably okay to collect, to see bird feathers on the ground and take some, but raptor feathers especially, you want to be careful with. Now, with that said, I have an awesome plan for us today. We are going to talk a little bit about feathers. I'm going to show you a few different kinds of feathers, and then we're going to get up close and personal with a feather on my microscope so you can see in depth what I'm talking about. So hang on. Fun fact number one, there are over 10,000 different kinds of birds in the world. That's like double the mammals. And there have been feathers found in fossils from over 150 million years ago. Sit on that fact for a minute. Fun fact number two, well, this is full of fun facts, but feathers are made from protein, actually keratin, like our fingernails. And they are considered alive while they're growing on the bird. So this one's going to be a little bit different today. So I'm going to just try to talk about the different parts, or some of the different parts of a feather, and then I'm going to show you up close and personal on the microscope. So the first part we're going to talk about is this. This is called the shaft. This is where oxygen and blood flows, but this is hollow. So this is the hollow shaft, and then you have the center shaft right here, and this is where the blood and oxygen flow, right, to keep the feathers growing and alive. And then right in here you have the inner vein. Hold on, I'll try to show you closer. All right, my friend, so this is what the hollow shaft looks like. And as we go up, so what you're looking at here is the inner veins and the outer veins and the barbs, which all help in the strength and the growth of the feather. And this part of the feather is actually what I was showing you. So it's not just, a feather. It's so many important parts that keep it hanging on. And then when it grows to its capacity, the blood flow shuts off and the oxygen, and then the feather dies. Kind of like your fingernails, I guess. All right, so There are 6 kinds of feathers on birds, and the smaller birds have thousands of feathers, and the larger birds have tens of thousands of feathers, but there are 6 main ones. The first ones are the contoured feathers, or the feathers that you usually see, right? They're the ones that a pheasant has that makes them beautiful, or a cardinal, right? The colorful ones, the bright ones on the outside, those are the contour feathers. Example of a contour feather, boop, this one right here, right? This is a turkey feather. You see it on the outside, that's gonna count, all right? The next one is going to be your down feathers. Now, we're all very familiar with down feathers, right? Those are the little fluffy ones that pop out of your pillow. Down actually is another word for insulation. So then you have the insulation feathers, and those ones are obviously used as insulation for the birds, but they also use them to put in their nests to keep their eggs warm. All right, then we have the flight feathers, and those ones you can kind of resemble like fingers. Those are the ones that like span out. There's actually only 10 flight feathers on a bird, and here's an example of one. This is a downy woodpecker or hairy woodpecker. I'm not really sure which one. I have to do a little bit more research, but they will fan, right? And those are going to be your flight feathers. Obviously, very important if you're a bird. All right, well, I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert because I'm not, but the next one is a semi-plume feather, and those are found between the contour feather and the flight feathers. Remember we were talking about a shaft and this thing right here, so it's going to be a stiff shaft, and it helps to fill and make the shape of the bird's body. That's all I got there. I don't have one to show ya. Then we have the philo plume, the F-I-L-O plume feathers. And these are a little bit more complicating, and I'm just gonna be honest, if I saw it, I don't know if I would know. I might have one on me right now and I wouldn't know, but they're long, they extend beyond the flight feathers. So you have the flight feathers, and then you have the ones above them, and those are the philo plume feathers. And you can do your own research. My job and what I love to do is just educate and get people excited about figuring out nature, because we are a part of nature and we should know about things like this because it's so cool. I have collected feathers my entire life. I have collected just drab, ugly ones to really pretty red ones and blue ones, from bluebirds and cardinals. I just love feathers. So I wanted to do this episode to get you guys excited. Get out there, find a feather, look at it, grab a book, or go online if you want. See what they have. They are so different and so cool and lightweight, but they play a huge part. Obviously, that's what makes a bird, right? All right, guys, until next time, get outdoors, explore, and see what you can find. Bye.